Hi, today we are going to understand the working principle of combustion. Talking about combustion, what is the first keyword that appears in your mind? Is it fire, cooking, or fossil fuels? Actually, there are more examples than that. Combustion brings a lot of benefits to our daily life, providing heat and energy to do work for human activity. To let you understand more about combustion, I'm going to share a fun experiment that is how to turn yourself into fire. To begin with, I want to ask you, have you ever watched the movie called The Fantastic Four? In the movie, there is a character called Johnny Storm, as known as the Human Torch. He can turn himself into fire and fly into the sky, like this. In fact, we may not have this kind of superpower, but we can try to simulate like him. Let's see a short video. From the video, we can see that the kid holds a fire in his hand. In fact, all of us can do so once we understand the scientific knowledge behind it. Let's understand how they work. For combustion, we need to have three parameters. The first one is oxygen. We need to have sufficient oxygen for the combustion. Secondly, we need to have the sufficient heat to have the temperature start and continue the combustion process. The last thing we need is the fuel for burning. In this video, they conduct the experiment in the room with sufficient air. Therefore, they have enough oxygen for the reaction. The teacher used the lighter to provide fire with sufficient heat to burn the fuel on the kid's hand. The last thing and the most important thing in the experiment is that why will the kid will not be burned and hurt with a fire on his hand? It's because the combustion process only burned the fuel on his hand rather than the kid himself. In this case, the teacher used the salt bubbles filled with the methane as fuel. The bubbles act as the protective layer on the outside of the kid's skin that protect his hands while another flammable substance burns out. Once the fire from the lighter touches the bubbles with the methane will provide sufficient heat and to start the reaction. The methane contained in the bubbles react with the ambient oxygen in the air to form carbon dioxide and the water. During the process, heat will be released based on the formation of carbon dioxide and water vapor compounds. As methane is lighter than the air, the methane bubbles immediately start rising off your hands once you touch it. Therefore, once they get on fire, the bubbles are already moving up and leaving your skin. Apart from that, the water content in the salt bubble also absorbs heat from the fire. The heat is used to vaporize the water content inside the bubbles into the form of vapor state rather than the liquid. Therefore, the heat energy is consumed during the vaporization and the temperature of the kid's can is not so high. Eventually, the combustion only burns the bubbles and the kid will not be burned. I hope this kind of video can give you some understanding about combustion by burning fuels. In fact, this kind of experiment is quite often shown in the magic show. Burning ourselves is not the superpower, it's just some science. Plus, you may not be surprised by the fire magic show in the future anymore. So thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.